officially entered the Upside Down. Welcome to Nerdist News, What the Fridays. Paramount Pictures has dropped a brand new trailer for Transformers The Last Night, and boy, is it something. Actually, guys, it's a lot of some things. Lasers, explosions, robot oral surgery. In fact, this little 2.5-minute glimpse into the sci-fi action abyss has a little something for everyone. Sorry, correction. It has a little something from everyone. The Michael Bay-helmed robot monster piece seems to have pilfered from so many of our favorite somethings from the 80s, 90s, and beyond that we're not sure whether to be delighted, shocked, or just furious. It really truly is something else. So without further ado, let's break down at least 8 or 9 things that The Last Night has ripped off from other movies and TV shows. Number 1. In this day and age, you can't talk about some things without bringing up Stranger Things, and even though this particular chapter in Transformers history started filming before the release of the Netflix phenomenon, the trailer still manages to plunder a bunch of stuff from the series. First up, oh look! A ragtag group of exactly 4 young, nerdy dudes in backpacks who have banded together on a quest to discover the truth behind the mysterious going-ons in their town, only to encounter a dangerous, cagey young girl who has abilities far beyond those of the average 12-year-old. Granted, Transformers wasn't the first, and certainly won't be the last to get sucked into the Stranger Things zeitgeist, but this is really a little too close for comfort. Even Michael Bay appears to have noticed this, but instead of distancing The Last Night from the Netflix series for the sake of keeping his work distinct, he seems to have embraced it, as evidenced by the super 80s Stranger Things-y music he's got playing on in the background when the kids come on screen. Seriously, if we had just played the first part of this trailer without the visuals, you might have thought you were listening to the trailer for season 2 of the series. However, since Stranger Things is also known for poaching from all of the things that we love, we ain't exactly mad about this one, just aware. And a little side note, the trailer starts with one of the kids asking his friends if they want to see a dead robot. So, just like Stranger Things, the Last Night trailer also seems to borrow a teensy bit from Stand By Me, and we're not mad about that either. Number 2, early into the trailer, the young grubby girl played by actress Isabella Moner wakes up surrounded by 3 tiny baby dragon-like robots curled up around her as if she's their mother. Does this seem familiar to you? Well, if you've been watching HBO's immensely popular series Game of Thrones, and we know that you have, then it fucking should. Young Izzy deliberately conjures the mother of dragons herself, Daenerys Targaryen, and her 3 baby dragons. Though it's not as if Izzy will be entering into a loving tryst with a hunky horse lord in this film, we can't help but point out the similarities. Another side note, with the braid, scarf, jacket, and dirty face, Izzy also evokes another powerful female character. I mean, if she broke out with a bow and arrow, she'd literally be Katniss Everdeen from Hunger Games. The odds are ever in our favor that Michael Bay did a little research by watching those films. Number 3, not only is young Izzy the mother of robot dragons, but she seems to have the peculiar habit of looking and speaking directly into the camera, as if she has some sort of ongoing quirky vlog that she posts to YouTube every day. Seems to us that Mbae watched a ton of reruns of the long-running Nickelodeon series iCarly. What the yuck, baby! Not to mention the fact that Izzy seems to have plucked some of her lines directly from a 2014 Always MaxiPad campaign titled Like a Girl.
Fight like a girl? Yeah, I fight like a girl.
Fight like a girl.
That's so weird! Number 4, check out the cutesy handmade robot named Skids. Isn't he adorable? It's almost as if Pixar's WALL-E and Eve made sweet robot love and popped out a janky baby boy. I mean, he's got WALL-E's emotive beeping voice and Eve's crystal blue eyes. Michael Bay either stole the WALL-E aesthetic or the actual f***ing baby. Number 5, as long as we're on the subject of things stolen from robot movies, junkyard dweller Mark Wahlberg yelling at Grimlock for eating a chunk of metal he's not supposed to touch is, shall we say, highly friggin' reminiscent of this scene from the Warner Brothers masterpiece, The Iron Giant.
What you currently have in your mouth is art!
Yeah, bae. We caught that one too. Number 6, at one point in the trailer, young Izzy can be seen tossing 2 bright green cylindrical liquid bombs. Now, who could Bebe be stealing from here? Well, turns out it's The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, but the actual film The Rock, starring Sean Connery, directed by none other than Michael Bay. Is it plagiarism if you steal from yourself? I don't know, I'm not an entertainment lawyer. My guess is it's not. but it is kinda lazy. Number 7, this is the big one now. Just look at these drones that appear to emerge straight from the ground. Those are goddamn TIE bombers from Star Wars. I mean, they aren't TIE bombers because this isn't Star Wars, but come on. Those are goddamn TIE bombers, down to the wings and elongated cockpit. They even fly the same. Now, it is possible that these design similarities are a coincidence, but we wouldn't be surprised if they also introduced a frightening new black transformer named Varth Dater, who may or may not fight with a lightsaber, or, at the very least, will transform into a Buick LeSabre. Ew. I know, I'm sweating that one too. And finally, number 8, through a billion. Even though there are certain images we've seen before in previous Transformer 5 trailers, given what we've witnessed in this new trailer, things like the very RoboCop-esque Ed 209-like bipedal robots or the ruined football stadium from The Dark Knight Rises can be put in an all-new context. Final side note. Michael Bay seems to have swiped one last thing from the 80s and arguably his other Transformers films. Soft racism disguised as comedy relief, as evidenced by this bit of tough love from Mark Wahlberg in the trailer.
Is this okay to be a kid, little J-Lo?
I mean, come on. Seriously, come on. If you're going to steal anything else, maybe it should be a library book about the world's socioeconomic struggles. Were there any other properties we missed that Michael Bay borrowed from and put into the trailer? Do you think it's a good strategy, or should he have moved on to stuff that we've never seen before? And if you could transform into anything, what would it be? Let's discuss. Also, reorganize your action items list and run this up your flagpole. The Belko experiment hits the big screen this weekend. Just another day at the office becomes a life or death fight for survival when workers at Belko Industries are forced to murder each other or be murdered themselves. Written by James Gunn and starring John Gallagher Jr., Adria Arjona, John C. McGinley, and Michael Rooker, this film is a win-win, no-brainer that Chris Hardwick himself has said is insane, violent, up, and twisty. Put the Belko experiment on your radar, hit the ground running, and give it your full 110% in theaters now. Be sure to tune in every day at 1 p.m. PST on YouTube, Facebook, and Alpha this month for Nerdist News Talks Back. We're breaking down who is the best villain of all time for March Badness, so help us figure out who is the best at being the worst.